When you picture a Viking, you probably imagine a fierce warrior on a long ship. But those ships were more than just tools of war. For the Vikings of Norway, ships were life itself, their means of travel, trade, and conquest. But most fascinating of all, these vessels became the ultimate send-off, a passage to the afterlife. A Viking's ship burial wasn't just about status, it was a spiritual journey, a way to ensure the deceased's comfort and prestige in the next world. These ships were engineering marvels, able to cross oceans and navigate treacherous fjords. So, when a chieftain or queen died, their final journey was in the very thing that defined their power. The boat burial was a statement. A self-contained world packed with everything needed for the next life. Food, weapons, tools, and sometimes even animals or people. It was about more than death. It was about legacy, belief, and the hope that the voyage was just beginning. These burials reveal a culture that saw the sea as a sacred pathway, connecting the living to the gods. Today these silent ships still speak, telling stories of a people as sophisticated as they were fierce. Ready to dive in? Let's explore the secrets of Viking boat burials. Let's get into it. Why did Vikings choose boats for their burials? Geography is the answer. Norway's mountains and fjords made the sea their main road. A ship was more than transport. It was a symbol of freedom, power, and connection to the world. In Norse mythology, even the gods had magical ships, and the afterlife was imagined as a sea voyage. So, burying someone in a ship was a religious act, equipping them for the spiritual journey ahead. The bigger and grander the ship, the higher the status, like a state funeral today. These burials sent a clear message: this person mattered. In a world without written laws, a spectacular funeral was a political statement, cementing family legacy and power. The ship was a symbol of life's journey and the Vikings' identity as master sailors. Entrusting the dead to a ship was an act of faith and a display of wealth. It connected them to ancestors, gods, and destiny. For Vikings, a boat burial wasn't just an end, it was a launch into eternity. So, how did a Viking boat burial actually happen? Forget Hollywood's flaming ships, most were elaborate land burials. When a chieftain died, the body was dressed in finery and laid out with prized possessions. A real longship was hauled ashore and placed in a massive trench. A wooden chamber was built on deck for the deceased and their most valuable goods. The ship was loaded with weapons, tools, food, and sometimes sacrificed animals or even people. This was a community event, taking days or weeks to prepare. Once everything was in place, the ship was buried under a huge mound of earth and stone. These mounds became landmarks, monuments to the dead and symbols of family power. The burial protected the ship for centuries, preserving a time capsule for archaeologists. Every step was about respect, legacy, and ensuring the deceased's journey continued. The result? A powerful permanent statement anchored in the land. These burials were feats of engineering and devotion, and they left behind some of the most spectacular archaeological finds in history. Norway's greatest Viking ship burials are the Oseberg, Gokstad, and Tun ships, true legends of archaeology. The Oseberg ship, found in 1904, is a masterpiece, ornately carved with a prow curling into a serpent's head. It was the tomb of two powerful women, surrounded by incredible grave goods. The Gokstad ship, unearthed in 1880, was a robust warship, less decorative but built for the open sea. Its chieftain was buried with weapons, animals, and even smaller boats. A replica of the Gokstad ship sailed across the Atlantic, proving Viking engineering genius. The Tun ship, excavated in 1867, was the first major find, less complete but still vital to our understanding. Though damaged, it revealed the scale and ambition of Viking burials. Together, these ships show the artistry, power, and reach of Viking society. They're not just relics, they're the main characters in the story of the Viking Age. Standing before them, you feel the presence of a lost world. These ships are Norway's crown jewels, linking us directly to the Viking past. They are monuments to exploration, power, and belief. Opening a Viking ship burial is like unlocking a 1,000-year-old time capsule. The Oseberg ship was packed with beds, chairs, chests, and even a ceremonial cart. Archaeologists found kitchenware, textiles, and tapestries, evidence of a colorful, sophisticated world. Grave goods reveal the status and personality of the deceased. The Gokstad chieftain was buried with horses, dogs, smaller boats, and even a game board. Most surprising? Peacocks, exotic birds from India, proof of vast Viking trade networks. These finds shattered the myth of Vikings as mere raiders. They were artisans, traders, and spiritual people. The intricate carvings on the Oseberg ship are true works of art. Examining the skeletons gives us personal stories, battle wounds, illness, and the care shown by their communities. These burials are about more than legend. They're about real people, love, loss, and respect. The grave goods speak volumes about Viking values and connections. Through these treasures, the Vikings finally tell their own story. It's history you can feel. Viking burials might seem distant, but the impulse behind them is universal. Funerals are about honoring life and comforting the living, then and now. Vikings packed ships with prized possessions. Today, we bury loved ones with mementos and favorite things. The sentiment is the same, preserving identity and showing respect. Grand Viking funerals were public displays of power, much like modern state funerals. Both are about legacy, community, and remembrance. After the burial, Vikings feasted to celebrate the deceased, a tradition that survives in wakes today. Sharing stories, food, and memories is a timeless way to grieve and heal. The technology has changed, but the heart of the ritual remains. Across centuries, we're still sending our loved ones off with care and meaning. Despite all we've learned, Viking ship burials still hold mysteries. Who were the Oseberg women? Royalty, priestesses, or something else? DNA and new tech may one day reveal the truth. Many ship burials remain lost, flattened by time, looted, or burned in fiery send-offs that left little trace. These ships are more than graves, they're symbols of Norwegian heritage and engineering brilliance. They inspire pride, curiosity, and a sense of wonder. Museums like Oslo's Viking Ship Museum let us stand face to face with this legendary past. New discoveries and technologies keep the story alive, revealing more secrets beneath the soil. These burials transformed our view of Vikings, from marauders to complex, creative people. The voyage of discovery continues, as long as there are stories left to uncover. The legacy of the Viking ship burial endures, anchored in history and in our imagination.